Hello and welcome to another segment of North by Northeast. I'm here today in Gillette with artist Tom Ford, local artist, and we're at his studio, Untamed Design. And we're here to talk with him a little bit about some of his art pieces and the work he does here. Tom, thank you for letting us stop by the shop today.
You bet. It's a privilege.
Yeah. So Tom, I guess kind of before we really get into everything as far as what you do here, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Are you originally from the area, or how you found yourself in Gillette?
I was born in Billings, Montana, and moved down with my family at the age of 4 in 1969. My dad was working for Williams Drilling Company at the time, and then I guess another landmark of Gillette is C&F Repair, which my dad, Frank Ford, and Ray Compton started in 1972.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've been basically, this is my home, always been my home.
Yeah. What was it that got you interested or started in art? Where did you find that interest?
Well, growing up in the time that I did, early 70s and stuff, Westerns were really good, movies, everything was about the Wild Wild West, and I was fascinated with that, love of horses, and wanting to be a cowboy, living in town. My option was, drawing, so I did a lot of drawing and stuff like that, and in school, rather than hitting the books really hard, I mean, I did read a lot of books, but I was really fascinated with C.M. Russell and Frederick Remington, artists like that, just their lifestyle and of course their artwork. So that's what really, I wanted to be a cowboy and an artist, as a kid.
So you said you did a lot of drawing. Is that kind of the first art form you really got into?
Yeah, really. I think with most people in art, it's one medium that you're starting with, and in school, you got art class and you're drawing and you're painting and stuff like that. And so the pencil drawings and pen and ink were really the first mediums that I worked extensively with, but the bronze three-dimensional sculptures and stuff like that, I was very fascinated about that. That's what I wanted to do. I'm basically, wanted to be this cowboy and this artist, and your imagination just runs, and I always felt like I could do anything.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned your some of your other art forms, but what, because you did talk about your sculptures along with your pencils and drawings, what other ones do you do? Because I know you've done a lot of different art mediums and art forms.
We do work in a lot of mediums. Bronze is probably my biggest passion, as I get older, that's more of a medium I want to work in. I believe I've done mid-40s, 40-some different sculptures, so far in my career, and I really want to work more in bronze, but we do a lot of metal work, metal signage, ranch signs, archways, different welcome signs for people, business signs. Also work in stone. Started doing stone signs probably 25 years ago, and a bunch of them are in Gillette, but we do them all over the United States, just like the rest of our artwork. So I guess I see myself as an artist at some point concentrating more on sculpture, more on images and work that I've wanted to do, rather than commission work. But the commission work is what keeps the lights on. So you got
to have that balance, I guess.
Got to have that balance.
Do you have a favorite piece you've done over the years?
Pulling leather, which is at the Camplex. It's probably my favorite just because it was It's the largest piece I've
I was
done.
gonna say that's quite a large piece. How long did it take you to even finish?
It's life size and a half. I spent 11 months doing the sculpture, and then we were probably about 8 months doing the molds, the casting. I believe it was July of '95 when I first brought it to Gillette, and I had to bolt it on, borrowed a big gooseneck trailer from somebody and had to bolt it to the trailer just so I could display it and let let the town see it. So that one was very, challenging. I mean, starting out, one thing that was unique about that in my career, 3 kids, raising a family, trying to make your mark as an artist, no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all that stuff, fell into that, and it was really, it was my tribute to the men and women that opened up Campbell County and surrounding area. I cowboyed a lot of my life on ranches around here, and just wanted to do something, wanted to show the community and the world what I was capable of doing, so why not go big?
Go big, and you did, and it looks great out there. It's certainly a kind of an iconic piece for the town, I think. And it took you 11 months. I guess what goes into creating a sculpture, whether a size of the one sitting behind us or that large? I mean, where does that process work, or how does that process work?
So, in any art, if you're working with animals and the human figure and stuff, you need to know your anatomy first. And to start a sculpture, what I'll do is I might do sketches, maybe not, but end up building steel armature. So, and I'll just use pulling leather as an example. So we end up basically building the skeleton out of metal to support the clay and everything on it. So you build your whole skeleton, and then you end up encasing it. We use chicken wire and stuff to, like, the barrel of the horse's stomach and stuff like that. And then foam, use a lot of styrofoam kind of build that block up, and you'll shave that down. And then you start putting your clay on these pieces, and your clay's your muscle definition, the height of the horse, the clothes on a human, the face and stuff like that. So it all starts with knowing the anatomy, the structure of your subject, getting you a good solid foundation, armature built to support the weight. I think that thing weighed 2 tons.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah.
By the time we were done, all the metal and the clay and everything.
Wow.
So that's really how you start a sculpture, and your end product is, you just got to say, of course, with your style, if you work really tight, a lot of detail on it, it's hard to say when do you stop. Today, and I feel a lot of artists probably work really tight early in their careers. You want that realism look stuff, but I find that it actually stiffens the sculptures a lot, especially your 3-dimensional stuff. And so I'm trying to work looser in my art, let light, let Mother Nature kind of portray more of my image than what I'm doing, or let Mother Nature help show my work, you know.
And obviously, the 2 heads behind us are some of your more recent pieces.
Just did these 2 pieces in December of last year. Finished it. Took the sculpture up to the foundry. Got the castings done. I actually got to build bases for these yet. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks they're ready to display.
Yeah, and they look great. So. You touched on a little bit about some of the things you do here, but let's talk about Untamed Design, because you opened up the business store just a couple of years ago, I believe, was it not?
Yeah, that's correct. I've always, you know, I've done artwork since I was 13 years old, professionally, if that's, but I spent 20 years out at Buckskin Mining Company, north of town, and that was a great job. It allowed me time to do my artwork, so I'd schedule all my artwork on my days off. We worked a 5-5-4 schedule, so I was basically off work every other week, so I could really concentrate on artwork, getting out, scheduling things with clients. And then in 2016, when the coal market was going down and everything like that, Beth and I, my wife and I, decided it was you know, time to do what I've always wanted to do, and just be artist full time, or not have another side job.
Yeah.
I guess I've always been considered myself a full time artist, you know. So in 2016, we opened up the studio here, and of course had a lot of work to do on the building, getting it set up, and we don't advertise, and I just felt like, you know, if you know, you open the door, people will come, you know, and we've been really blessed. We have clientele from all over the United States just stop in, whether they see us on our website or most of our clients come to us just word of mouth. You know, we'll do a piece for somebody maybe in North Carolina, and somebody in North Carolina will be calling, you know, and saying,
cool.
"Hey, I saw this. Can you make me something like it?" You know. So.
Nice. Well, that's neat.